Right guys, welcome down to the round review of my competition at Fleetwood Golf Club today. And what could have been? So first thing to do is look at the leaderboard, and I am in tied 4th place, which is basically 2nd place. So there's 3 people who finished on 40 points. The winter series of competitions is played over a Stableford format, but that relates into 4 under gross. I was 3 under gross, so 1 back of that, but man. So ahead of me was Steve Parry, Simon Lucas and Andy Palmer, who are all very good players. Simon Lucas really does enjoy it round there as well. And I really, and this is the case of probably everyone who's ever played golf anytime, but I really should have been a good 3-4 shots better than I was. I really should have been shooting 6-7 under today. So let's have a little bit of a look at my stats. So the first thing to check, let me just slide over and give some room for the actual stats here. So my strokes gained on driving was plus 0.33. So this is the theme over the last few days when I've been practicing of my long game being so much better. And then another positive with my strokes gained on my short approaches, they're plus 3.2, and that's the highest I think that's ever been, certainly in competition wise. You can see my stroke to gains approach play was down to minus 0.63, which again is probably the best it's been for me as far as approach play goes. But then look at my putting, minus 2.8. We'll have a little bit of a look through at my scorecard here. So started off very well with a birdie, and I have to say this was one of the competitions that I played in when I really didn't feel nervous at all on the first tee. I was ready. I was ready and prepared to actually shoot a good score, and that's a very different mindset than I normally go into a competition with. I have always been relatively nervous on the first tee, but today, nothing. I felt ready, which was really good, really positive. But here on the 4th hole, here's where it really starts to kind of spell out my problem, to be honest. So I've hit a good 3-wood off the tee, and my approach, I only had a wedge, which was right down the flag. I just misjudged the distance. It was a blind second into that shot, so I came up a little bit short, and then I 3-putted, and it was a pretty bad 3-putt, and it really put me in probably the wrong mindset on the greens, which were probably better than I expected them to be, but this was a little bit bobbly. And I kept giving myself putts of about 3 to 4 foot to make par, and I just didn't feel that comfortable over them. So I wasn't getting my pace putting correct. That was a little bit lacking, and then over my short putts, I wasn't quite able to start them out on the line that I really wanted to. And it's called me crazy. But I think pace and line for putting is rather important. But then on the very next hole, this is what shows my strengths today. So decent drive just to the right of the fairway in the semi-rough, hit a wedge to about 10 foot, and then hold the putt. And it was probably the only putt really that I can think that I hold of any real distance. But if you watched the vlog from yesterday, the Quest for the Open vlog, I kind of saw this coming a little bit because my putting is something I've just not really worked on over the last month or so. After Spain, where I was putting incredibly well, I just haven't really applied that much practice to it. A little bit of that is down to, frankly, the weather over here. Today was the first sunny day that we've had in a long time, and warm. But a little bit is down to me just not dedicating enough time to it. It's as simple as that. So if I'm not putting the time in to work on that aspect of the game, then when I get to the course, it's going to be a little bit funky. I have put a lot of time into my long game, and that's really what is showing through. And this is only the 2nd comp I've actually played in this year, thinking about it. Again, that's mostly condition wise, so I have entered other competitions that have been called off because of the weather, and then the last one was obviously Spain, which was 3 rounds. But you can see here, compared to my 2017 stats on the PGA events here in the north, my scoring average was 73.3. I wish 73.8, so it is under the scoring average from last year. And I felt today probably the most comfortable I have in my long game and generally on the course. So I'm excited to see what actually happens from here on in. Played today with my dad. As a team, we scored 47 points, and I think that was actually leading when we left as a team, so I'll have to see what actually wins in the end. But Matt, who I was playing with, Matt Fryer, and then Andy Beale, one of my lessons, were all playing, and it was good company, good day. Like I said, the weather today was fantastic. It was the first sniffs of summer, if I could put it that way, and please let it continue. So I'm going to be doing a bit of putting practice tonight and then get ready for tomorrow at Crossland Heath. So I'll be doing another round review tomorrow and then getting some more content filmed on Wednesday. So start of this week is pretty busy and I'm just looking forward to getting out and playing again. To be honest, I really enjoyed today from a competition standpoint. Obviously didn't enjoy the putting, but hopefully we'll be able to get that sorted tomorrow. We will see. Right guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Follow me on my other social media platforms as well. Still gutted that I didn't get my first professional win today, but you know what? I can feel it coming around the corner and I'm very excited to see when that does land. So that's about it. Right guys, see you next time.